The Celtic Forever podcast is a zero advert and zero profit channel. The channel also includes Celtic highlights and player interviews, so join the uninterrupted fun and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Celtic Forever podcast. I've got John with me here to go through everything Celtic. I am Xander. We're going to go through everything that's been happening over the last couple of days or few days. We'll go through the Celtic manager latest, the Celtic AGM. We'll have a wee word on the Kieran Tierney and Scotland goal, and we'll obviously talk about the St Mirren preview as well. That's what we're here to do in the main St Mirren preview. And the competitions as well. We'll go through everything. But let's say hello to John first. How are you, John?
Good. Really enjoyed the Scotland game. We can start with that if you want. Get that out the way. It was some night.
It was a brilliant night, that, John. I mean, I'm no a Scotland, diehard. I feel like I've only ever been to 2 Scotland games in my life. But I do remember back in 1998, the last time we were in the World Cup, I was watching the John Collins penalty against Brazil. Everybody remembers it. And for it to be so long for us to get to another World Cup, John, it was a very, very special night there, night, especially with young Kieran Tierney scoring the winning goal.
I've not been to any Scotland games, by the way. You've been to 2 more than me. The only Scotland game I was ever at was when I was at school, and the school took us to a Scotland under-21 game at the time.
Right.
And that was at Ibrox Stadium. So that's how long ago that was. But Kieran Tierney, fantastic strike when it wins us the match. That's no taken away from Kenny McLean's goal after it, by the way, which was an absolute peach. But Kieran Tierney, that's your main boy, and that's Denmark are on their knees at that point.
Yeah, you got to bear in mind, John, that goal, Ken McLean's goal, doesn't happen if Kieran doesn't score, because they would have been defending the draw, because that would have been enough to put them through. So that wouldn't have happened. Obviously, Denmark were pushing up the park to try and get another equaliser, John, with just seconds to go, and that's why there's no goalkeeper, there's no defence, and as you say, fair play to him, it's a lovely finish from the halfway line. Very difficult to do. And he does it well, but he doesn't get that goal if Scotland are, still drawn at that point, John. So that's why Kieran Tierney's goal, for me and for everybody, should be really the most important goal in that game, John.
It was the most important goal in the game. I'm not saying it was the best goal in the game, because the other 2 goals that were scored, obviously Lawrence Shankland's goal was just a tap-in. It's just, don't think he knew anything about it, to be honest, but the other 2 goals that were scored, Kenny McLean and McTominay, were 2 cracking goals. If I was to pick the best goal of the game, I'd have to give it to McTominay. The overhead kick right at the top corner. I mean, that was a beauty. If that was England scoring that'd be on the news for a year. It's outstanding finish from Scott McTominay, and obviously Kenny McLean's finish from the halfway line. I think the BBC commentary for that goal was outstanding. They're anticipating it, and then they're all getting excited before it even hits the net. So for me, I like the commentary for that goal better. If I was to pick anything about that goal, that was a fantastic goal that Kenny McLean scored. I can't say it enough. And the commentary for it on BBC was absolutely fantastic. And obviously, Kieran's goal for me, it's the most important goal in the match, and it was an outstanding finish, curled right into the corner of the net. Big Casper, sadly for him, no getting a fingertip to it or anything. I seen somebody in the comments saying it took a deflection. What an absolute clown that is. How did that take a deflection?
Yeah, some of the Rangers supporters, no happy with Kieran getting all the credit for putting Scotland into the first World Cup in decades. So you're going to get that, John, in the comments section. But it was absolutely fantastic from Kieran Tierney, John. And what a finish. Played on the right, wasn't he? So he's came in from the right, hit it with his left. And what a finish. That was a stunt. You just knew as soon as it left his foot, John, that was nestling in the back of the net. Casper was unlucky. He nearly got his fingertips to it. But no, not quite enough, John. Just a brilliant finish from Kieran Tierney. And we're looking for the young man to carry that on into his Celtic for him, John.
Aye, but what's is that, isn't it? I mean, one of them against St Mirren will take that all day. That look was a beautiful finish from Kieran Tierney, absolutely outstanding. And to score in such a big game, a goal like that, do you know what I mean? It's 30 years almost since Scotland were at the World Cup last 1998. I remember that as well. But to score in such a big game like that, and look, Denmark, what a team they are, by the way. Denmark, they're absolutely outstanding as a team. Scoreline obviously flatters Scotland a lot. Let's not kid ourselves, that scoreline does flatter Scotland. I thought Scotland were terrible in the first half. I think after we Doak get injured, I think Scotland's game plan was out the window after that. I don't think they had a plan B apart from defend and hope we get a counter attack. That's what it looked like to me. I think Scotland were pretty poor, to be honest with you. But they showed a lot of fight. I think when Scotland's back's against the wall, that's when you see the best of them. In recent times anyway, you see the best of them when their back's against the wall. Denmark sent down to 10 men. Scotland kind of struggled against the 10 men as well. But 3 world-class goals, and what a night it was. And big Kasper Schmeichel was a subject of the Bhoys at Hampden for some reason.
Yeah, of course he was, and that's always going to be the case. He's plays in Scotland, and he's trying to stop Scotland from qualifying for the World Cup. But no, it was a brilliant night. I just loved it. I didn't think I'd be feeling like that watching a Scotland game, John, to be honest with you. And it was, I think it was just because it was Kieran that scored the main goal. But it was also brilliant just to see Scotland back in the World Cup again after such a long time. John, that brings us on nicely, John, actually to the manager, the Scotland manager. It was only a few weeks ago, John, the Scotland fans were calling for his head. You know, Stevie Clark calling for his head. And we were on our podcast, the Celtic podcast, talking about it, saying it was a disgrace. The guy's done this, the guy's done that. 2 major competitions they got Scotland to, and they were asking for this guy's head. And I couldn't understand it. But the Scotland fans have quickly changed their mind, John, because he's got Scotland to a World Cup for the first time in over 20 odd years. 25 years, 27 years, whatever it is, John, nearly 28 years. I thought it was a disgrace, the Scotland fans and some of the people in the press calling for his head, John.
Aye, look, Stevie Clark's style of play, it's no flamboyant or anything like that. It's just a kind of your bog standard, get the men behind the ball, counter attack, solid defensive type performances. But you can't take it away from Stevie Clark. He's got Scotland to back-to-back Euros and a World Cup. As I know that it's probably Scotland's, I don't know, I don't follow Scotland avidly like yourself, but I do like to see them in competitions. And is that maybe Scotland's most successful manager doing that, back-to-back Euros and a World Cup?
Yeah, most successful manager in history, John. You know, this is the same manager that they wanted out of the Scotland national team, John, and a new manager put in place. I just didn't get it. I just didn't understand why the fans would be like that. I know, as you say, the style of football wasn't great, but there you go, John. Scotland's most successful manager. And you've got to remember who we had in the past there, John. Your Jock Steins of this world, you know, various other Scotland managers in the past, John, and he is Scotland's most successful manager. So you're going to give the guy immense credit.
Aye, and you've also got to look at the teams that he's beat as well, Spain and all that. You know, he's beat some cracking teams. But looking at the group, Scotland at the top of the group there, and obviously Denmark. I think they're an outstanding team, Denmark. Some great players. In Greece, obviously we played Greece on Tuesday. Last Tuesday, was it? No, sorry, what night was it? Saturday night?
Yeah, the weekend.
And we went 3 goals down. And there's Scotland. I've always says it. I think right now in this current squad, when they're up against it, they seem to find an extra gear. And they were very unlucky not to come back and win that game. I thought Scotland were brilliant after they went down to 3-0. I mean,
yeah,
they started to dominate the game. They got 2 goals back. Fantastic, but unlucky on the night. But look, I'm glad Scotland got beat with Greece, because that meant they had to win that game. And I think if Scotland went into the game at Hampden with that attitude, they had to draw the game to get through. I think Scotland would have been put out. So I think it was a blessing in disguise we lost to Greece on the Saturday night. And by the way, well done to Ireland as well. Beating Portugal and Hungary, Xander. What an achievement that was to get them into the playoffs.
Yeah, good luck to Ireland, as you say, John. They're going to have a tough game. Of course, same as Denmark, they're going to have a tough game as well to qualify for the World Cup. But as you say, good luck to Ireland, John. The brilliant couple of results for them as well to reach the playoffs. So hopefully they join Scotland in the World Cup in America, Mexico and Canada, John. So yeah, brilliant. Just a brilliant few days. I didn't think we would be talking about this international in such depth, John, but it's just brilliant to see our nation, Scotland, John, getting to the World Cup after such a long time. And before we wrap it up, the Scotland stuff, John, just one more thing on it. Colombo there, one more thing. Kieran Tierney, John, you sent me the video today of Kieran Tierney talking about the reaction to his goal, and various different reactions and videos out there. But he did speak about the video that was put on with the Titanic theme tune, John. Obviously, I put the video on for the Titanic theme, and I do know 100% that BBC Radio Scotland used the audio from the video, John, on the radio for that video that we put on the channel, John. So there was a lot of good feedback from that wee video. But Kieran, if he's talking about our video with the Titanic theme tune, it's just good to hear that the video's getting a wee bit of traction.
It's not my video, it's your video. All the wee short videos are all your videos. You do a great job on them, Xander. And obviously Kieran's got to see it, and he never says he got it sent to him. He says a lot of people sent it to him. So Kieran's had a look on your channel, Xander. Kieran loves it. BBC Radio Scotland, it's been shown on there, it's been shown on Sky. So that's a great wee bit of traction for the channel there, Xander. Well done.
Yeah, thanks, John. I appreciate that. And it's good to get it, after such a long time, getting a wee bit of positive feedback. And especially when there's a Celtic player mentioning it, John, it makes it even sweeter, I suppose. So thanks very much, everybody, for viewing that video. Right, John, Celtic.
I bet Kieran's watching it every night.
He's got to say, wouldn't he? And the good thing about it as well, John, that I liked about it personally was, it was the Titanic theme tune, but it wasn't the one with the female singing, and it was just the actual music from it. It wasn't the actual vocals from the song either. It was just the actual music in the background. And I thought it made it a wee bit better.
Who sang that song again?
Celine Dion, I think it was.
All right, who's that?
A female singer. I think she's American.
I'm only kidding. I know who that is. I don't like it. I can't stand that song, by the way, but it's appropriate for that goal.
Yeah, it was very appropriate, and I just liked it because there was no vocals in it, John. It just made it that wee bit better, Okay. Enough of bumming up on myself. So, okay, let's get into Celtic stuff, John. There's a lot to get through, an awful lot to get through, and we'll start with that EGM earlier on today. Total turmoil into it, John. This AGM, total chaos, booze, red cards getting held up, getting cut short, John. The AGM was just a total mess. I don't think it should have happened, to be honest with you. But it went ahead. I put the Martin O'Neill interview up on the channel as well there. His reaction to it, he's not happy at all, talking about Jock Stein would have been embarrassed, that kind of stuff, John. It's just a mess. We don't want to see it. We thought all that stuff had more or less passed, John, and then it raises its ugly head yet again during this AGM.
I've obviously not seen the AGM, but I've seen Martin O'Neill's conference. He was talking about, like he says, Jock Stein, and look, we don't. But that stuff it's still lingering. I thought, I was like you, I was thinking it was starting to maybe show signs of improvement, but it seems it's getting worse. And it's not the kind of press we want, especially the guys in the team themselves and the manager. We don't want them seeing that stuff and hearing about it, because that does affect the team. And anybody that attends these AGMs and showing red cards and all that, you've got to think about the team first and foremost. Okay, nobody's happy with things that's happening at Celtic Park, but you've got to conduct yourself with a wee bit more decorum than that. I think that's poor.
It's embarrassing, John. It really is. I know everybody's got their feelings about what's been going on at the club over the last 6 months or so, John, and everybody's got their own opinion, shall we say, about that. But for, the national press to be there and to see that, and for it's now everywhere, it's all over the place. Everybody's having their say on it, having a laugh about it. We just don't want to see it, John. It's on the eve of a massive game as well against St Mirren. As you said a couple of minutes ago there, John, we just don't want that affecting the players or the manager, do we?
No, that's the most important thing, is the team on the park and the manager. That's the most important thing. Well, the fans are the most important thing. As Jockstein says, football without the fans is nothing. But look, we've started our season, we're sitting 7 points behind Hearts in the league. And with a game in hand, of course. But we don't need anything else disrupting the players. You want the players full concentration, and turning up at an AGM and conducting yourself like that with absolutely no decorum whatsoever. That I don't think that's going to help matters at all. There's a time and a place for that, and it's certainly no before a very big game.
Yeah, and it's certainly not before a big AGM either, John. It's so embarrassing. All the businessmen of the world are watching that, John, and it's obviously these guys and women are trying to get their point across. But as you say, John, there's a time and a place for it. No, we do agree with some of what the shareholders feel, John. But as you say, there's a time and a place, John. Let the EGM go ahead, and then you can ask your questions, and then ask your questions. And that's a more, poignant way of getting your point across when you ask those, very awkward press questions, to the board, John, and then I've got to answer those questions. But no, to stand there and boo and heckle and hold up red cards, no. Very poor, very poor. So I'm just glad it's over, John. That's the AGM done and dusted. And it's just something that's, I feel embarrassed watching it, John, to be honest with you.
If you're going to show up being angry at people, you're not going to make the matter any better, put it that way. If you're showing up and venting your anger at a board that's already on the fans' case, you're not going to make things any better like that. There's got to be some kind of mutual coming together and get it sorted like adults, instead of this nonsense that's going on right now. And I agree with you, like the fans and shareholders have got a right to vent their frustration, but there's a time and a place for it. Certainly no when we're just coming back and trying to catch Hearts in the league, and then you've got people acting like that. And it is embarrassing for Celtic, and it is embarrassing for most of the fans around the world, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's it, John. And Martin O'Neill wasn't happy, was he? Very unhappy with it, but because he was there, so he saw it with his own eyes, and it's on the eve of a massive game as well, John. So, talking about Martin O'Neill, John, all of your, I've just saw the thumbnails for this. I've not actually went into any of these, but all of your, podcasts and news feeds, John, have went with the new manager that's on his way. Martin O'Neill confirms that Celtic are about to appoint a new manager. That's not what he says. That's not what Martin O'Neill has said, that Celtic are just about to appoint the new manager. He says he thinks they're about to appoint the new manager. He doesn't know for sure. He's in charge until they do appoint a new manager. It could be midnight tonight, he says. That's just Martin O'Neill with a bit of tongue and cheek, John. And all of your podcasts and news feeds have went with it, John. The new manager's on his way now.
I watched the press conference with Martin O'Neill, and I seen the same things you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, right, where's this bit where Martin's talking about there's a new manager on his way, and he never says anything about Celtic appointing a new manager. He's on his way. He never says anything about that. So anybody that's posted a video like that, you're watching this channel, did you hear something that we never heard? Because I listened to it and I listened to it carefully, and I never heard him mentioning once the new manager's on his way, all that crap that you're seeing out there. But look, YouTube's full of that stuff now. It's just lies, lies, lies. It's not just football. I'm talking about everything. You look up anything on YouTube, you'll get 90% of the videos on the subject are basically lies. And that's with every subject you can think of. It's just lies, lies, lies. It's a needle in a haystack. Sander trying to find the truth.
Of course it is, John. And all this AI doesn't help matters either, does it? Everything that's on YouTube now is fake. It really is. It's quite poor. Anyway, John, that's for other people to discuss. Just a wee quick word on the manager, actually. What we know so far is that Nancy is still the favourite, John. He's way out now at 1-4. Hot favourite to be the next Celtic manager. Martin O'Neill is currently priced at 61, with Knudsen currently at 14-1, John. So that's your three hot favourites, if you like. But Nancy, he looks like he is the man. And he could be announced, John. He could be announced tomorrow. He could be announced next week. He could be announced next year. We don't know, John. We just don't know. And that's exactly what Martin O'Neill had confirmed, John. He never mentioned once that the new manager will be here imminently. But if you want to believe that, that's up to you. Right, John, let's move on. Let's move on with the rest of the Celtic news. We'll get to the St Mirren preview in about 10 minutes because there's still a wee bit to go through here. And I want to run through the injury status, John, since we know what we're up against now. After the international break, there's another couple came back with injuries as well. And I hate doing this, John, because it just brings you down. It really does. So obviously, Kobe Donovan, he has returned with an injury. He got stretchered off in a under-21s game against Gibraltar, John. He could be out for 3 or 4 weeks. Kobe Donovan, we'll hope that it's sooner, obviously. But that's another one added to the list, John. Kobe Donovan.
Aye, I've seen that. Aye, he's not played the last few games, mind you.
Yeah.
But he's a cracking young player, isn't he? A cracking young right back. I was for sure seeing him as a more permanent stand-in for, what's his name? Alistair Johnson, rather than Anthony Ralston. I was seeing Donovan as the man to take the place of Alistair Johnson. But that wasn't the case. Very strange that wasn't the case. Anthony Ralston, of course, look, he's a Scotland international. Still a good right back, Anthony. Very good right back. But I just thought Donovan was going to be the man that was going to stand in for Alistair while he was out.
Yeah. He made one mistake and never played again. You know, every player makes mistakes. And young Donovan made a mistake, and he's no kicked a ball since. Obviously, Brendan dropped him, and Martin hasn't started him. But he's not going to get a game now, John, for a few weeks. So he's out injured, stretchered off with an ankle injury, John. So we're hoping the scan comes back for that, not as feared as when he was stretchered off the park against Gibraltar. Right, John, let's run through the rest of them, John. Just a quick update on the injuries then, and this is not great reading, I'm afraid. Callum Osman, John, he's going to be mid-January, John, at the earliest, mid-January for Callum Osman. So that is going to be, you know, that's a long time, John. That's nearly 2 months that boy's going to be out. Alistair Johnston, Callum's was a hamstring, John. Alistair Johnston is out with a hamstring as well. He is going to be nearer the start of January, John. So he's still got another 5 or 6 weeks to go. Just mentioned Kobe Donovan, John, but we're not really too sure on his time scale, but it's looking like 3 to 4 weeks for him anyway. Jota, his injury, he's going to be returning early January to mid-January, John. January, end of January, we're going to have some team at the end of January. But Jota, John, his injury was away back in April of this year, early April this year, or mid-April, and he doesn't return to January, John. So that was a very long-term injury for Jota. Big Cameron Carter-Vickers, Achilles injury. It looks like the rest of the season for big Cameron Carter-Vickers. Just pathetic, that news, wasn't it, John? we were actually doing a podcast when the news came through for that he was out for the rest of the season. And we couldn't really believe it when that came out. Sriracha, John. Sriracha, he's going to be several weeks as well. Not confirmed, of course. We'll maybe know once his scans come through as well, John. But Sriracha, he's going to be several weeks. Not great news for Sriracha. It's another hamstring. And of course, Tanetti picked up an injury as well, but he has been pictured back in training for the St Mirren game, John. So a wee bit of good news there at the very end.
Aye, well, and it is sickening just thinking about that list, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's our best players are injured.
Yeah.
As simple as that. I don't know what I can say about that. I know it's not our best players, but a lot of our best players, especially Vickers and guys like Jota, Alistair Johnson, Sriracha, you know what I mean? A lot of good players there. It's going to be like, you won't have to sign any players in January. We'll get a new team coming back.
That's that, John. You look at that. You think of these players returning in January. Osmond returning in January, who looks like a fantastic young player. Alistair Johnson returning in January. Jota returning in January. Sriracha returning in January, John. That's 4 or 5 top-class players we're going to have in January. So we're actually doing not too bad just now, are we? But we beat St Mirren on Saturday night. It brings it down to 4 points, John. And 4 points is really nothing with a Hearts team that's looks like they're on a downward spiral. So, John, I just can't wait to get these guys back.
Aye, I just hope it's not too late. That's all I can say about that, because there's a lot of football to be played between now and January, a lot of European games and all that stuff, the cup final as well, of course, a lot of league games. So with a depleted squad, it's going to be tough.
Could we, or should we even call back the likes of Lewis Palmer, John, Big Narocki, Thiago Holm, Montgomery, all these guys that are away out on loan just now? Should we cut any of these loans short? Get an extra winger back, an extra centre back, an extra left back, and a central midfielder, John. We could call all these guys back. Just gives the managers more options.
You could do that, especially guys like Narocki and Stephen Welsh. I don't think, who's it? Stephen Welsh, is that against it? Motherwell?
Motherwell, yeah.
I don't think he's even getting a game for Motherwell. If it is Motherwell, I can't remember. But
it is, John. It is Motherwell.
I don't think he's even getting a game for them. I'm not sure because I've not seen Motherwell. But
yeah,
there's Lewis Palmer. Look, he was a big flop at Celtic. I can't see Celtic calling him back any time soon, although he's doing quite well just now.
Yeah, he's doing well, John, at PKO. John, he's flying. Actually, he's doing scoring goals, assists. Big Narocki at Hanover 96. He's doing well. Also, Adam Montgomery at Livingston. Not too sure how well he's doing, or Thiago Holm at LAFC, John. But the first two there, John, Palmer and Narocki, if it's possible, we could call them back. It might not even be possible if we can call loan players back or not in January, John. But if it is possible, I think we should be thinking about it.
Aye. We need to do something, because the squad we've got right now is getting smaller and smaller, and the quality's getting less and less. So there's something's got to give there, and you just hope there's no a complete collapse from Celtic with the amount of players that's dropping like flies, you know.
Yeah, very concerning, John. But we're doing not too bad considering everything that's going on at the club just now, John. Look at that EGM today. Look at the protests. Look at everything that's happening at the club. And we're still only a potential 4 points behind the league leaders, John. And that could be turned around very quickly, actually. And we're into a League Cup final as well after a Glasgow Derby win. So all is not too bad, John.
Not all things considered, it's gone quite well just now, to be honest with you, apart from the European games. But I've scrubbed my hands of that European stuff for this season. It's the team's had far too many injuries to even attempt try to compete in that right now. If we had our full squad, would have been okay, but right now I'm not interested in it. Just I want it over as sooner the better, Sander.
Yeah, Yeah, that's it, John. We'll have a wee word on that later on, actually, when we do the predictor. We'll have a wee word on why or not. Right, John, just one more thing before we get into the big match preview for the St Mirren game on Saturday night. Is it a 7:30 kickoff? I think it is, isn't it, John? It's quite a late kickoff Saturday night.
8
is it? Right, 8 o'clock. That was very late for a Saturday night, isn't it? Right, John. Do you remember back when Brendan was manager at Celtic, round about maybe a month or two ago, where Brendan was not happy about the mole at Celtic Park leaking to the press that Brendan wanted to engineer himself a move away from the club? John, what will happen to that story?
I don't know. He's away.
Do you think that move was engineered, John? Do you think the mole was correct?
It certainly looks that way, aye.
Yeah, we never ever heard anything about that after it, and I just thought I'd bring it up since, Brendan's now away a few weeks, isn't he? 4 weeks ago or something, Brendan left the club, and nobody's ever mentioned this mole that was at the club that accused Brendan Rodgers of engineering a move away from Celtic, John, and now he resigned, John. He walked away from the club again. So I just wondered if there was any, feedback that maybe I've not heard about as regards to that story. But I never heard anything about it, John. Did you?
No, you never find out who the mole is. That's top secret stuff, that.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, right, and one more thing again, Colombo yet again, before we call it a day on the news. And this isn't really news, but we'll get to that preview in a wee second, everybody. But did you watch the BBC team, if you like, John? The panel, if you like, you can call it a panel, for the Scotland game against Denmark, John. I had a right good giggle at that. You had Leanne Crichton, the Rangers FC ladies manager, and we got into trouble for that and all, calling it ladies, John. Anyway, we'll get into that later. Walloper of the week coming up soon. Leanne Crichton, John, the ladies manager, on the panel. We had Neil McCann, ex-Rangers assistant manager, on the panel. We had Peter Lovencrantz, ex-Rangers player, on the panel. We had Stephen Thompson, ex-Rangers player and BBC anchor, on the panel, John. Why we haven't put up with this, John? I had to switch it to Sky USA to watch the Scotland game.
I don't know. It's jobs for the boys, isn't it? We've always said it. I've been saying it for years. Jobs for the boys when it comes to the BBC. Don't know what's going on with the BBC, but funny handshakes, put it that way. I'll say as much as that. I don't know, but that's the only thing I can think of. Because to have that kind of panel when it's basically the national team that's playing, mix it up a bit. Get a couple of ex-Celtic boys on, ex-Hibs boys, something like that.
Yeah.
Why is it all these ex-Blue Noses that's on there?
There is Celtic. There are not many Celtic pundits out there. There isn't many at all to pick from. But you have got like Simon Donnelly and people like that, John, out there in the press. And now they stick with the Rangers panel, John. And basically it is actual Rangers TV covering the Scotland game, John.
That's what it is, Rangers TV. I don't watch the BBC. I listen to it sometimes for the football highlights. But that's about it. I wouldn't miss that if that went away. But the end of the TV licence fees, Andy, would you welcome that?
Yeah, of course. Nobody wants to pay TV licence fees, do they, John? Nobody wants to be out of pocket, to be honest with you. But
especially for watching EastEnders, not me.
Yeah, that's it. No, I just think it's wrong, John. I think that their panel situation on the TV and the radio, John, is pretty pathetic. You said that a couple of weeks ago, you've got you used to have all your ex-professionals, your Archie McPhersons and Alec Alexanders and David Beggs, all these sort of commentators, John. And now you've got, you've got Tomo and Steve-O, Biscuits. Who's Biscuits? Who is Biscuits? I'm listening to it. They're calling a guy Biscuits. I have no idea what they're talking about. And you've got they think that everybody understands what they're talking about, John. Tomo, Steve-O, Dodzo. The BBC, absolutely fantastic. It really is. Right,
It's a
John.
joke. BBC Scotland, it's worth a laugh if anything. I don't watch BBC. I haven't watched BBC for many a year, by the way, unless there's football highlights on YouTube that somebody uploads. There's a guy called Ronnie uploads the highlights for the BBC. That's the only thing I really see, and sometimes radio commentary. But other than that, nah. Defund them. Don't need them.
Yeah, see, as regards to...
Put it this way, Xander. See if somebody wants to watch BBC, why don't they just charge a subscription fee like Sky would do or Netflix would do? You know what I mean? Charge people a fee to watch them. Don't charge me a TV licence fee, but I don't even watch telly, you know?
Yeah, that's it. There's not many people that watch it anymore, to be honest with you. Celtic stuff, John. Let's get into the big game, the big preview of St Mirren, John. I know what a game to come back to, St Mirren, John. It's very tough. You know, they just booked a place in the League Cup final to play Celtic in the final, so gives us a wee idea, John, but we're going to be up against in the final as well. But John, more importantly, John, it's all about 3 points here. Winning the game, getting out of there, you know, with the 3 points in the bag, John, heading back to Celtic Park with the 3 points and closing that gap to just the 4 points against Hearts at the top of the league there.
Aye, well, this is it. I mean, I watched the St Mirren against Hibs game a couple of weeks ago. Hibs played them off the park. Well, no, wouldn't really say played them off the park, but Hibs were by far the better team. But St Mirren did have chances to put the ball away, you know, loads of chances. But Hibs took their chances. St Mirren never took their chances. But when it comes to Celtic, you know, these teams are going to raise their games, and it's going to be a completely different thing from playing Hibs for St Mirren.
Yeah, and it's also at St Mirren Park, John. You look at what St Mirren did to Motherwell in the semi-final, 4-1 win, absolutely dominated Motherwell. And Motherwell are a half-decent team, so they've got that in them, John. But obviously, their form just now isn't great. You know, they're actually 9th in the league, John. So I think they've lost 4 out of the last 5 games, John. So they really have dropped in form. But again, that goes for nothing, John, because when Celtic come to town, they quickly find that form again.
Every team finds their form when Celtic come to town. I'm not saying they don't all find their form, but they certainly find an extra gear. They raise their level. There's a quick high press on Celtic players and all that stuff. I mean, we'll see that from St Mirren. They'll be pressing Celtic. They're guaranteed that. Look, they're a good team, St Mirren. I've complimented St Mirren many times this season. I think they're a cracking team. And right now, on the back of that AGM debacle, this isn't a good time to be going there.
No, it's not a good time to go in there, John. And it's all these injuries as well, John. Into the bargain, you know, as you say, the spine of the entire team is gone, John. You know, I didn't even mention Iniacho on that injury list, John. He's still out injured, and he's not going to be back for another couple of weeks by the looks of things. But you know, he came to Celtic because Brendan was here. You know, obviously, you don't know what kind of form he's going to come back with. You know, he was scoring goals, John. He was assisting. He was a decent big striker, him. And obviously, if Martin O'Neill is still in charge when he returns, Martin will get the best out of him as well. But no, John, he's still out of this game as well, John. So that's another one added to the massive injury list. And obviously, you're going to have to go through a predicted 1 to 11 in about 5 minutes, John. That's going to be very tough. And I'll give my predicted 1 to 11 as well, actually, this week. And I'll quickly run through what I think the St Mirren starting lineup's going to be as well, John. But we'll quickly run through the betting on this one. It is 7-1 St Mirren to come out with the 3 points, 4-1 the draw at St Mirren Park, and 1-2, just over 1-2 for Celtic to get the 3 points against St Mirren, John. Kevin Clancy, he is your man in the middle. He's the referee for this one, and Matt McDermott, he is on the VAR for the game on Saturday night, John. But doesn't matter about referees or anything like that, John. We just have to go there, do what we've done the last few league games and the cup game, John, and we shouldn't be too far away for putting a similar performance against, like we did against Falkirk and Rangers, John. Should be okay.
Aye, well, this is it, isn't it? We just don't know what Celtic are going to show up right now, especially just after an international break and all. It's players haven't really had any rest, have they? And they've got to St Mirren Park, one of the best teams in the country right now, St Mirren, I think. I've been dreading this one, to be honest with you. I just think going to that stadium and then it's an 8 o'clock kick-off on a Saturday night. Never heard the likes for a Scottish game. You remember games used to kick off at 7:30, Sander, years and years ago?
Yeah.
Midweek games were always like 7:30 kick-off, weren't they?
Yeah, that's right. Used to get your late kickoffs, that's right. But it's sort of now weekend games are either early or they are 3 o'clock kickoffs, isn't it? So it's never ever 8 o'clock. I mean, that's a very strange one, isn't it, John? 8 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday night.
It's a very odd one. I've never known it. I've never heard of an 8 o'clock kick-off on a Saturday night. If there is one, I don't remember it. But that's a first for me, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. It's just something we need to put up with, John, isn't it? Just hope we get the 3 points in the bag, John. That's all we're all hoping for. As regards to St Mirren, they have one injury, John. They have one injury. I think we're sitting there with 6 injuries, 6 or 7 injuries. They have one. Mark O'Hara, he is out with a foot injury, John. So they've more or less got a full squad to pick from.
Good player, him though, Mark O'Hara.
Yeah.
I think he drives that St Mirren team. I think he's a cracking player, O'Hara, and that's good news for Celtic. Bad news for Mark O'Hara, right enough, but good news for Celtic.
Yeah, that's it. Any bit of good news we can get just now, John, we'll grab it. Any good news is a bonus, like Tenecte in training today, John, so he should be okay for St Mirren. And I'll quickly run through, but I think the starting lineup's got to be for them, John, right? Just very quickly. Georgia in goal, then it's Fraser, King, Freckleton, Richardson, Phillips, Donnelly, Bacchus, Declan John, Lindeloo, and Ayunga, John. That's my starting lineup for St Mirren. They're just a team full of very decent players, aren't they, John?
They are. What about Gogic, having him in your lineup? Big Gogic, he's one of their main boys, isn't he?
Yes, John. I just went with the sort of more physical, because they're I know Gogic is physical, but he's not as tall as their other defenders, John, like King. But I think they're a very, very physical team, St Mirren as well, aren't they? They're very strong and powerful.
Aye, but Celtic are no exactly giants, are they? At the end of the day, so Gogic wouldn't be defending against a 7 feet attacker. But I don't know what the St Mirren team's going to be. But I think Gogic will be included in it, Xander. I don't think they'll leave him out. I think he's too important to them.
Yeah, possibly, John. Possibly. We'll wait and see. But no. If it's Gogic, it's Gogic. We just need to win the game, John, don't we? That's the bottom line. 3 points in the bag. I mean, as you say, John, I've been sort of dreading this one myself.
Aye, definitely. I always dread going there. It's a hard place to go and get a result, especially with a St Mirren team that are bang on form. They're in the cup final. They are there for a reason. They're a good team. There's no doubt about it, and they'll give Celtic a tough time. They always do when we go there. And Celtic, of course, Celtic will be playing in their away top. They always play in their away top when they go there. So I just wonder what top it will be. Because from memory, watching games at night time at St Mirren Park with Celtic in an away top, it's hard to spot the Celtic players on the far side.
Yeah, it's horrible. They sort of low lights as well, isn't it, John? Low floodlights. It just glares into the camera when you're watching it on the TV, doesn't it? And I take it the game's on Sky Sports, I would imagine. So I'm not too sure. I've not even checked that, John, what channel the game's on. I'll check that up before we go. Right, I'll quickly run through what I think the Celtic team's going to be, John. Then you can quickly run through what you think the Celtic team's going to be. I think it's going to be Casper in goals, although his head might be all over the place, John, after midweek there. Posey at right back with Trusty and Scales and Kieran Tierney on the left back. I think it'll be Nygren and Hatate in midfield with McGregor, with Dazamida, Tenecte if he's fit, and young Kenny up front, John. But what do you think, buddy?
I don't think it'll be Posey. I think it'll be Anthony Ralston.
All right.
I don't know. Martin O'Neill didn't exactly compliment him too much the last time he played. I think it'll be Anthony Ralston. He never got a game for Scotland against Denmark. He never got started, so he never even came on as a sub. So he'll be good to go, Anthony. So I think he'll start it.
Yeah.
And up front, I think it will be Kenny, Dyson on the right, and Tinecti if he's fit enough. Aye. If not, then I don't know who will be on the right. Maybe Yang or something like that.
Yeah.
On the left, sorry, I don't know. If Tinecti's fit, he'll play on the left. If Tinecti's no fit, then Maida will play on the left, and James Forrest will play on the right.
Yeah, that sounds more like it, John. I remember limited to our options now, weren't we? Very limited. Arnie Engels, no place for him, John, for you?
It's never a place for him for me. Yeah, no, he's done all right the last couple of games, Arnie Engels, to be fair to him. But no, I think what you say is for the central midfield will be, I think that sounds pretty much spot on to me. McGregor, Hattati and Nygren.
Yeah, we'll wait and see. Come 7:30 on Saturday night, John. Just before kick-off, we'll get the team news then. But that's our guesses anyway. All right, John. Competition time then, and that brings us on to the predictor, doesn't it? We'll start with the Celtic game. Clearly, we're going to start with that. Everybody get your guess into the comments section for the Celtic game. If you are in that big league table on your left-hand side there, get your guess in for the competition. One guess each, 3 points for every correct guess you get. John's sitting there at the top, joint top with Roseanne and Paul. So get your guesses in for that, everybody.
Collins.
Sorry, John?
Collins.
Collins
is at the top with Roseanne and me.
Is it Collins? Did I say Paul? Did I? So I think I've said that a couple of times, didn't I? Sorry, Collins. Sorry, pal. Yeah, Collins is up there at the top, isn't he? But what's your guess for this one then, John?
As long as you don't get my place at the top of the league wrong, that's all right.
No, not yet anyway. I might get bloody vision come the end of the season, you never know.
You might, but I'll tell you what, I'm going for a 2-0 Celtic win this weekend to put me on 12 points right at the top of the league.
2-0 to Celtic, John. That's that would be lovely, wouldn't it? If we could get a 2-0 win at St Mirren Park, John, that would be an outstanding actually result if we get that. And I'm going to go a convincing win as well, John. Actually, I'm going to go 3-1 to Celtic at St Mirren Park against the Saints. Doesn't matter either way, John. 3 points. We can't afford any draws or anything like that in this one, can we?
Oh, no. We can't afford any draws at all. And right up until the point we play Hearts, we cannot afford to drop any points. Look, I'm sure Martin O'Neill's going to have that drilled into the players. Look, the players they're playing well for Martin right now, I think. And Martin will say the right things to the players after that AGM carry on. I think Martin will say the right things to the players to get them up for the game. He's a well-respected man at Celtic. The players respect him. He'll have the players up for that game, and I don't worry about that. It'll still be tough though, but Martin will have them up for it. Yeah,
that's that, John. Of course he will. And it's going to be really tough. It always is when we go there. But John, considering everything that's going on just now, and I can't believe that happened. Still can't believe that happened at that AGM the day, to be honest with you. Right, John, let's get into the predictor. 1-1 between us two. I can't remember what the score is. 16-8, something like that, isn't it? But you're well ahead anyway.
That's right.
Is that right? Okay. Right, John, there's quite a lot in the predictor for this week. I've actually got 11 games here for a predictor, so we'll actually quickly rattle through it then, right, John, because time's getting on. We'll start with Dundee United against Falkirk on Saturday.
I'll go for a United win, 2-0.
All right, John, I'll go for a Falkirk win, 2-1. Hibs against Dundee?
Hibs to win, 3-1.
I will go 3-0 to Hibernian, and that one, that's also on Saturday. Stick with the Saturday games. We've got Kilmarnock against Motherwell.
2 each.
2-1 to Motherwell from me in that one. The gimme of the day, Rangers against Livingston.
I don't know about that.
Livingston bottom of the league, John.
I don't know. I'll go for I've got to go for Rangers in this one. 3-0.
Yeah, 3-0 for me as well. I'll keep it to that, John. I'll keep it to 3-0 because that's no. I'll go with 4-0 then. How's that? 4-0
You
to
know,
that.
you can pick the same score in every game if you want, Xander. There's nothing that says you can't pick it. Pick
Yeah, I
3-0 if
know.
that's what you want.
Yeah. I'll go with the 4, John, because I just think they're going to run over the top of Livingston, to be honest with you.
Right, so what you mean 3-0, we'll stick to 3-0, Xander, that's what you meant.
Right, okay, right. So, man, we're done, John. We've covered the game against Celtic. We'll go on to Brunei Watch, John. Airdrie against Ayr.
Airdrie against Ayr, I'll go for a 3-1 to Ayr United.
3-0 to Ayr United in that one, John. Away from home for Brunei. Then Lenny Watch as well, John. Neil Lennon's Dunfermline against Greenock Morton.
I'll go for a Lenny one, 2-1.
Yeah, they're doing okay, Dunfermline now, aren't they? A couple of good wins. But I'm going to go with the 1 each in that one. And Celtic B, John, who are not doing too well at all, are they? But they're playing Cowdenbeath away from home, John. Cowdenbeath, full team against Celtic B.
Whereabouts?
It's in Cowdenbeath, John.
Cowdenbeath.
Yeah.
What a horrible name that is, isn't it? Cowdenbeath. What a horrible, horrible name for a place to live.
Apologies to MD for Cowdenbeath that's listening.
Just when I hear the name Cowdenbeath, the colour brown always comes out of my mind. I don't know why that is. It's just when I think it, it's just like Cowdenbeath's everything in Cowdenbeath is brown. I don't know why that. It's just horrible name. Anyway, Cowdenbeath against Celtic B. I'll go for a 3-1 win for the Beath.
Yeah, 2-1 for Cowdenbeath in that one for me. The Beath, yeah. The Cowden. Anything but Cowdenbeath for you, John, eh?
Nothing against anybody from Cowdenbeath, by the way. Probably all lovely people there, but it's a horrible name. Change the town name.
Okay, we'll see what we can do. Sunday, John, into the Sunday games, and it's the big one, isn't it? The one that you thought last week that Aberdeen would give Hearts a very good game. I also think Aberdeen will give Hearts a very good game because it's at Pittodrie. But it's a score prediction we're looking for, John. What are you thinking, buddy?
Aberdeen, I mean, they're unpredictable, aren't they? More predictable on the losing side of things, right enough. Aberdeen, it's easy to predict a defeat for Aberdeen. But I think Aberdeen raised their game. They give top teams a better game than they do lesser teams, if you like. I'm not saying Hearts are a top team. They're far from it. I know they're top of the league, but they're not exactly a top team. I think Aberdeen will take a point off them, Xander. I'm going to go for 2 each in that one as well.
Yeah, 2-1 to Aberdeen for me in that one on Sunday, John. That game is hopefully we've got the 3 points in the bag and then they lose their game. Clearly, that's what every Celtic supporter wants to happen. Okay, moving on to the other 2 games on Sunday, John. We've got Celtic ladies. Now, Sunday commented, didn't they? Stay out of the 50s with your Celtic ladies titles. No, we'll call it Celtic ladies if we want. Stupid. So Celtic ladies, John, against Partick Thistle. Ladies, Glasgow Derby, John. Another Glasgow Derby. The Celtic women lost the last one against the Rangers. Was it 3-2? I think they lost. They're up against Partick Thistle and another Glasgow Derby, John. What are you thinking on this one?
I was going to say 3-2 for that game. I think I says 3-1. 3-2 was on my mind as well, you know.
Yeah.
Sorry, saying that after it's happened, didn't it? But aye, I seen that some idiot saying that for living in the 1950s by calling the Celtic ladies. What would you want us to call them?
That was Neil Barton, John. Neil Barton, 6061. They said there is no such thing as Celtic ladies. Please get out of the 1950s.
If there's no such things as Celtic ladies, what's the females that play in the green white hoops? What are they called?
I don't know. It's always been the ladies football, isn't it, John? Or women's football, whatever you want to call it.
Oh,
no ladies.
what you're saying is 1950s is ladies is a 1950s word.
Yeah, that's it. No. If it's no ladies, then it must be gentlemen.
Well, well, when there's guys and girls in a crowd and there's a presenter comes on or something like that, they don't say ladies and other human beings. They say ladies and gentlemen. Or they don't say other human beings and gentlemen. they say ladies and gentlemen because ladies are ladies basically, or women. They don't say women and gentlemen. They don't say that.
Females and gentlemen.
Aye, girlies and gentlemen. He probably, by the way, he probably doesn't like gentlemen either.
No.
So you better be careful what you say because this guy doesn't like the word ladies and he obviously doesn't like the word gentleman either. So what would you have? What's your other word for gentleman?
Guys. Hey, you guys. Oh, it's pathetic, isn't it, John? The things people come out with on these comments, it's absolutely hilarious.
Well, I noticed he never answered after everybody left a comment. He didn't bother answering. So why you bother even saying it if you can't come up with an answer as to why if we know to call them ladies? What is your answer for it? About 10 people left a reply in the comments. Where's your reply, Neil?
Yeah, that's it.
You're an absolute banger.
I think that'll be your walloper of the week, John. But we'll get to that now.
He's two wallopers of the week for him.
So we don't need to get to that then. You're giving him the title just now.
I don't know. It depends on who you pick. I might have forgot one.
Right. Okay. Right. All right. Celtic versus Partick Thistle.
All right, we never done that.
Celtic females against Partick Thistle women. John, what are you thinking?
Celtic females against Partick Thistle women. I'm going to go for a 4-1 win for Celtic females.
Aye, 3-0 for me, John, against the Jags for me in that one. Good luck to the Celtic ladies anyway.
Careful.
No, I know, I might get into more trouble. But they need to pick themselves up, John, didn't they? Some pretty bad results.
Aye, the game against the Rangers ladies, sorry, females, was they were no bad in it. I don't think they deserved to lose the game. I watched that game. It was alright, I suppose, but I think the Rangers females are a lot a stronger team. They just look physically stronger, you know. But don't know. I just can't get out that guy saying that. Don't say ladies, there's no such thing as ladies. What are you talking about?
It's just the world we live in nowadays, John. I'm afraid that's just part of the world we live in. Right, John, final one on the predictor. Let's get this out the roads. We can call it a day. Feyenoord, John, we played Thursday night. Just keep a wee eye on them, so we'll do a wee predictor on them. Sitting second in the league against NEC Nijmegen. Never heard of them, John. NEC Nijmegen, who are sitting 12th in the league, John. So there's a big gap between these two teams. Feyenoord just 2 points off the top, so they're definitely going to be up against it on Thursday night. But what do you think for this one then, John? Just a quick guess, because we want to keep a wee eye on them.
I've never heard of them either. Is NEC, is that no one electronic company or something like that? Electronics, NEC. I'm sure I've seen a telly, NEC telly or something like that. I'm sure I've seen that somewhere.
Yeah, I think they should be our sponsors for that many years ago, John, but I don't know if they're still in existence. But no, this is just don't know what the NEC stands for, mind you. But it's obviously just a Dutch team into the play in their league.
I've no idea. I don't know who they are. I'll go for a Feyenoord win, only because I've heard of Feyenoord. Let's see. I remember playing FIFA. I don't remember ever seeing a team called NEC in it. Is there no team called NEC Breda or something like that?
Yeah, I think there is, John. Yeah, but this isn't them. This is, I checked that out. Nigmegen. Nijmegen. NEC Nijmegen. Don't know how to pronounce it, John. Never heard of them actually.
No, I've never heard of them either. But I'll go for a Feyenoord win, because just like I say, it's just because I've heard of them. I'll go for a no idea. 3-0 for Feyenoord.
Yeah, 2-0 to Feyenoord for me in that one. All right, John, that wraps it up. That wraps it up for the day. Actually, we're over an hour now. Quite a lot to get through there, wasn't there? Really was. I know we've not been on for a week, but everything happened since the Scotland game, really, wasn't it? What night was that? Tuesday night. And then the day's shenanigans at Celtic Park with that. Honestly, John, see when I think about that, John, what happened at Celtic Park the day with the AGM, it's quite bad, isn't it? It really is. We just hope it doesn't affect the performances on the park, John, because that is more important than anything just now, is getting things back on track on the park.
I've always been a believer that these things, protests between boards and fans and all that, I think they should be for the end of the season when the team are no in action. I know the fans are angry and all that stuff that's going on. Money no getting spent in the team, the stadium needs done up, all that stuff. But you've got to think about the guys on the park that are knocking their pan in for you every week. They boys put bums on seats. You're not there to support a board, you're there to support 11 guys on the park giving their all for you. And nothing should come between that. You know what I mean, Xander? Nothing should come between the team and the fans. I think that kind of stuff, if there's going to be any action taken, it should be done at the end of the season and get prepared for the new season starting. I don't think anything like that should be taking place when we're not even halfway through the season, because it does have a detrimental effect on the team. I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's been absolutely ridiculous the things that have happened this season so far, John, as regards to managers leaving, John, protests. The whole thing has just been total turmoil, John. And as I said earlier, the fact that we're actually only a potential 4 points off the top of the table and into a cup final, John, is absolutely tremendous, to be honest with you, considering everything that's happened. But I've got an interim manager in place just now, and Martin O'Neill, who's doing a great job. And that's all about to change very soon as well, John, when we get the permanent manager in. So, it's just a bit of turmoil just now at the club, John, isn't it?
It's total turmoil. And you've got to think about the potential manager coming in as well. He's going to have a look at that and go, stick that up your jumper. I don't want any part of that.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good point, actually, John. But we'll wait and see what happens in the next couple of days as regards to the manager. Wilfred Nonstreet being the hot favourite, of course. Now, John, just one more thing before we go. Very, very trivial point, if you like. But somebody mentioned in the comments that the new stadium banners, I put the video up on the banners. A lot of people like it. Thousands of views on Facebook, YouTube, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of people do like it. In fact, if not everybody likes it. But one person did say, and I sort of agree with this, John, where is the star above the Celtic badge, John? That's a great point, isn't it? Where is the star for the Lisbon Lions winning that European Cup, John? That should be above that badge on the banners around the stadium.
Aye, maybe somebody will go up with a tin of paint and paint one on it, I don't know. Maybe it's a bit of a climb up there, right enough, and it's a big stadium.
Yeah.
But I think maybe it'll be added on, Xander. I don't know. Maybe it'll be added on. Now there's a star right above the main stand, isn't there? Just to remind everybody that goes up anywhere near that stadium, you can see that.
Yeah.
They quite away. So I think, look, it is a good point that the star isn't there, but there is that star that will always be there right above the main stand for everybody to see. So I think that adequately covers that, Xander.
Yeah, okay, John. And that adequately covers the end of the podcast for us, John. Thanks very much for that. Very interesting today, John. Very interesting podcast. A lot to get through. We've got through it. Good luck to the champions on Saturday night all the best of luck to the boys. All the best of luck to the Celtic ladies. Best of luck to the B team as well on Saturday also. Right, John, we'll catch you on Monday, buddy.
Best of luck to Aberdeen and Hearts as well. Catch you Monday, Xander.
Yeah, catch you Monday. Hail, hail, everybody. Catch you all very soon indeed. Thanks for watching.
The Celtic Forever podcast is a zero advert and zero profit channel. The channel also includes Celtic highlights and player interviews, so join the uninterrupted fun and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much.